Alright, so this kind of trance is a bit faster, like 155 BPM. For me, it always starts with the drums. If these are really pumping, and if these work really well with your bass, you know, everything else over top of it can be a lot of different things. It all starts with a good kick. This is one that I made. The main thing with this is no processing, but you notice it's kind of like the loudest thing. So I guess the processing there would be level, but it's really just getting it to the right spot in the mix. Same thing with all of these main drums, like the kick, hi-hat, and clap. Right, it's just about having these in the same kind of place where they can all hit together. So I've got that kick, I got the hi-hat. I pitched it up a little bit, and you can hear it's just a really fat sample. And then the clap, which is not necessarily like the hardest hitting clap, but it just kind of fits really well. Right on top of this groove. I've also got this little hi-hat. So I've got this pitched up actually. You can see, yeah, C3 would be the original note, so it's up +4. And then I have a high pass on it. Plus this auto pan sidechain, so it's kind of bouncing off the kick. And then lastly, we have some percussion loops. So these are some house loops. And then this mid-range kind of thing that I made myself. This is really important too, is you don't just want the high-end ones. Like having that in the mid-range there adds a lot of groove to the track, especially if I turn it up. Just a lot of groove and energy, so that mid-range layer is very important, definitely not to be missed. On the group here, I've got an auto pan sidechain and a high pass. And that's really it for the drums. Then we move to the bass. Alright, so we got this chord progression, which basically always starts and ends on the same note, but the middle note changes, so it kind of recontextualizes the progression every time you hear it. It starts with 6, 4, 1, so we're in the key of F minor, so we're going C sharp, the 6th, A sharp, the 4th, and then F, the 1, and then 6, 7, 1. So yeah, it's really not that complicated progressions. These are definitely used a lot in trance music. They have been, you know, ever since the beginning. It's really just kind of what you do with it. I think what's really nice with this is you have all these other things which, you know, really don't have a lot of like chord information besides the pad, right? So then this just really kind of defines that chord progression in the overall mix. Now, as far as the actual like pattern, notice how it's straight 16th notes, but the first two are really short and the second two are a bit longer. Right, so it kind of just creates this really powerful bass wave with the kick. And also a lot of energy too. Like if I take this and just make it, you know, that kind of trance bass where it's just on the upbeat, it's not going to have quite as much energy in the overall track, if you hear that. Right, as opposed to. So the bassline pattern can contribute a lot to the overall track too, not just the bassline. As far as the sound goes on this one, I'm using drift. I'm basically putting together a saw wave and a square wave to create this kind of additive square wave. Low pass filter with an envelope on it, which is shaped like that, and then the volume envelope is just like this. It's a very simple. And then auto pan sidechain, just like the kick. This is one where you really just want a solid sound and then just turn it up. You know, most of these main sounds like that kick, the hi-hat, the clap, the bass, shouldn't really be processed that much. It's really more about finding sounds for those that just work really well. Then we got this Transcape pad. It's playing the same chord progression you just saw with the bass line. Here, I've made these into triads, so we got root 5, 3 on all of them. Whether it's a major 3, like in this case, or a minor 3. It's just expanding those same chords out. And then by putting the 3 up an octave instead of putting it in the middle like it normally would be, you just kind of spread the chord out and you can hear each voice better. And it's done a lot in modern electronic music, I've noticed. I've got this wavetable patch here, which is this amber wavetable, and then this saw wave, a bunch of unison. So that's straight out of the synth. You can also see the wavetable, the amber is getting moved. So you basically get this saw wave that has like this interesting movement to it, right? So it's kind of like trying to devise new ways to get that super saw sound, but with like something a little bit different and more futuristic to it. So I got that, and then we got, the unison there. Then I have this auto pan. So it's not doing any panning, right? It's just like all the other ones I've shown you, but we've got it doing this automation between 16th and 8th notes, creating the trance gate kind of pattern, right? And so I've just got that through the whole thing. It's nice with this because, as you can see, you can play with the amount there and get different sounds and let like a little bit through, or let even more through. I got this delay, which I think is really good with the trance gate. It's like these longer ping pong delays where it's bouncing around from ear to ear, with that trance gate feeding it like a lot of rhythm, right? Then we got another auto pan for the sidechain, and then a high pass filter. Then we got this one lead. So, as you can see, this is the pattern. It's using a lot of the voices I just showed you, right? We have the root, we have 6, we have 7, we also have 5. So it's basically 4 voices from the scale. Up here is another 7. And then I've created this sort of call and response where it ends on different things each time, right? Now, for the sound on this one, it is 2 drifts layered together. I do really like drift. It's a great synth. What we got here is we basically got this saw wave with a bunch of unison, right? And the drift turn all the way up. And then this kind of interesting amp envelope where it's got a little bit of attack. It's like a pluck without any filter. And it's got that little attack into the note, so you kind of hear it like. Then this one, which is the same thing but with no unison. And the envelopes are the exact same too, which is very important. Those are layered together. And you basically get almost like a non-unison synth, just with a little bit of unison. It's nice. And I heard this in a few of the Jokes on You tracks too. It's like this kind of lead, which is just really steady and full and powerful, but it still has the unison width. We got a little bit of ping pong delay. Also good on this too. You can hear a very trancey pedal. You hear it barely distorts it, but when I turn it on, it's just a lot fatter and more full. We got a high pass filter. And then auto pan sidechain. And then our last layer here is this drift lead. Yeah, I noticed CLEOPARD2000 does this a lot, where you'll just have like essentially a drone that isn't playing one note, right? Like you have your chord progression, and then this is a bit of a drone over it because it's the same thing over and over. It's just usually a drone would just be one note, like it would just be going, just playing F or just playing C over top of that. But we're basically creating like a more musical drone with this, and it fits well with that other lead too. It contrasts it really nicely. And just makes the whole thing feel really epic. Now these are really easy to do. Musically, you can see it's just 1, 5, 3, 9. Like just repeating over and over and over. They're overlapping into each other, and then there's like a little bit of legato inside of the synth. So here's the actual synth patch. It's a saw wave, and then yeah, I've got the envelope set like that, and then we're working with the legato. The glide's up pretty high, and then I'm using the spectral resonator to kind of create some unison, because you can't do unison and glide inside of drift, but this kind of creates a more interesting sound too. Like here's without it. With it just kind of like softens this a bit too, and it makes it fit really nice in the mix because of where it is stereo wise. It doesn't clash with anything because it's sitting like really far off in the left and right ear. Now the way you do this is you tune this, you put it on chorus mode, you tune this to the root note of the key that you're in, like I've done here. Bring the decay all the way down. I've got the unison all the way up. The unison amount is just on the default setting. And then we got a bit of ping pong delay and some reverb, you know, just giving it that trance atmosphere, high pass, and then an auto pan sidechain. And that's gonna be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full template at the top of the description on my website, so definitely don't miss out. It'll help you take your tracks to the next level today, instantly, as soon as you download it. There's really not much you can do to make better tracks, like, instantly, but getting this template really will help you do that. Thanks for the support, everybody. Every little bit helps, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.